Okay, Chapter 4 of the Elite Flow Framework. Ask open ended questions with depth. Yes and no questions and others similar in nature are only valid if you have a destination of where the conversation can go in mind. You must think of yourself as a world class interviewer. What would be questions that would make for a good video podcast? You have to think about certain questions that would actually be insightful, that could get you closer to knowing this person even more. It kind of ties into chapter 2 about having a genuine curiosity and interest in women, but these are just questions that you think would be interesting to ask anyone. Different questions that you think would allow her to know you more and for you to know her more, right? That would make for insightful conversation. One of the strategies within this chapter or this aspect that I've used that's helped me a lot in my day to day game and conversations with beautiful women is do not accept I don't know. Oftentimes, if you deal with a woman, a lot of times she has never been asked many of the questions that you're going to be asking her because you are an insightful person. You are a man who is introspective, who takes time to himself and asks himself questions about what he believes. You should be asking yourself about what you believe. Many people just accept ideas that have been placed onto them by others, by their parents, by social media or the media in general, or by their peers. You just have ideas and beliefs about the world that you just accept as universal truths in your life because you have never taken the time to sit down and ask yourself what you believe. Is this the correct way to be thinking? Is this the correct thing to adopt into your mindset? Ask questions about the world that exists around you and try to come up with conclusions to those questions or to find answers to those curiosities about this universe in which you exist in. None of this really makes sense. I'm not going to get super spiritual in this because this is a very niche problem that we're looking to solve, solving that approach anxiety, fixing that first date anxiety, and allowing you to be able to move and engage with a woman in a free flowing, calm, cool, collected, zero nervousness, zero anxiety, engaging in that conversation with a woman that is going to leave the woman wanting more, that is going to leave her thinking about, this guy was interesting. Right. So we're not going to get super spiritual, but one of the key things, oh, I don't know what to ask. I don't know any in depth, open ended questions that I could ask the woman. If you're asking yourself, bro, I don't really know any questions that are really interesting, or I don't really have any open ended conversation starters that I could ask the woman, my mind just goes blank. Bro, before you even go on the date, before you even approaching girls, start asking questions about what exists around you, how people move and operate, how money works, how psychology works. Ask certain questions. Obviously, you don't know everything if you paid for this course. There are certain things you don't know. You should have certain interests about yourself or about the world that you would like answers to. And then once you have those questions, go on a quest to find answers. What is God? Who is God? Does it exist? Is it a social construct? Men, women, dating, mating, friendships, emotions, anger, sadness. What causes all of these things to do what they do? Why do people in general behave in the manner that they behave? Sociology, psychology. Take a quest to learn those answers. Do some Google searches, some YouTube searches. Buy some books. Read other people's perspectives. And then you can come up with your own conclusions of what you believe the world is, of what you believe the world should be, how men should move and act and behave, how women should move and act and behave, what would be the most optimal thing for us to be doing as a collective. You come up with your own conclusions rather than just accepting what other people has told you. Then, once you have come to certain conclusions of yourself, you can ask a woman what she believes, what her take is on certain concepts or ideologies or maybe even religion. Like many coaches, dating coaches, or conversationalists, experts will tell you never talk about religion, never talk about politics, never talk about these other things. Me personally, I'm doing that on a first date. Typically not politics, because politics is just something that I'm not typically interested in myself personally, you know. But if I was super heavy into politics, I would be asking questions like that on the first day. I don't really care. That makes for a way more interesting conversation. If you are spiritually grounded and emotionally grounded, and you have emotionally a high level of emotional regulation, to where you're not going to be triggered from her answers, you're not going to be butt hurt by her having an opposing opinion or view or perspective on life. If you know you're good and you're chilling, and you're just genuinely curious to hear what this person's take is on it, and maybe even have the goal of yourself in mind to maybe gain a new perspective that you've never heard before. If you have that demeanor, that energy spiritually, you have that inner work, right? Like I said earlier in the previous chapter, women are typically going to mirror you. If you're not super bent up, or you're not super judgmental on what someone believes about religion, or what they believe on uh, politics, or whatever, these are just two that are coming to my head, right? But it could be about anything. If you're chilling, you're genuinely just trying to get to know another person, and you're genuinely just enjoy to engage in in-depth conversations with other people, people are not typically going to get triggered and upset. Has it happened to me? It's been a while, but it is possible. Now that's going to come closer to one of the later chapters about sometimes women just aren't for you, bro. Simple. But me, I'll talk about these things on our first date, and it serves me a lot better. By the end of the date, they feel like they've known me their entire life. We feel like we've created a bond and a genuine connection, intellectually and spiritually. We have bonded. This is after day one. She feels like, oh my gosh, I feel so close to him. I feel so comfortable sharing my ideas and who I am with this guy, that I've never really felt that. I just met him, but I feel so comfortable with him. I feel like I can talk to him about anything. I don't have to put on this mask and stay away from certain topics because I don't want to scare him off. This is, typically when she views you as a respectable man, she finds you attractive. You're doing a lot of the things. You followed the framework of the mesmerizing man framework. You took in the 12-week program. Um, these things like that. If she has looks at you in high regard, right? Typically, women are going to be nervous on the first date as well. She's going to be staying away from certain topics. She's going to be closing herself off because she wants to be liked and perceived highly with you. But they'll stay away from certain things because they don't want to scare the guy off, or they don't want to get super vulnerable with a man that they just met. But when you have this natural sponge like brain and mentality, you just want to learn, you just want to gain new perspectives, right? Women will typically feel comfortable to share them with you because you're so sincere. So that is something that you also need to conjure up in yourself, that natural desire to learn and to gain new perspectives from not only just women, bro. It's not just about women, but this will help you when it comes to having these conversations with women, having that natural, authentic curiosity and desire to learn more. And when you have done that outside of the date, away from other people, you just in the comfort of your own room, by yourself in your own privacy. When you become that kind of person and you take those steps to gain this knowledge, you're going to want to share this knowledge with other people, because most people most likely have taken the time and energy and steps and research that you have taken. This also appear with a later chapter as well. But yes, ask open-ended questions with depth. And if she says, I don't know, I'll be like, hey, this is what I'll tell girls. I'll be like, I don't accept I don't knows. Take your time. There's no rush. Take your time. Use your brain. And try your best to come up with a conclusion, especially when these questions that you're asking don't have any definitive answers. It's just, there's no real answer. You just want to get what she might think could be the reason something exists, or what her perspective is on something. Show her that you genuinely want to know what she thinks, you value what she thinks, and there's no pressure to, like, what I've come across too. When you level yourself up intellectually, the way that you articulate yourself, women will be semi intimidated because they're not doing the inner work that you're doing. So which it's a good thing, but women could feel intimidated, like, oh my gosh, he's so well spoken. He's thought so much about these topics. I don't even be thinking about stuff. I just be la da 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 da. Let's go shopping, Netflix. Like, I don't. Most women have not been trained to intellectually exercise their brain to come up with their own ideas. So when you kind of put a woman on the spot, she could feel uncomfortable, or she just want to say, "Oh, I don't know," and get it out quick, because she doesn't want to say something stupid, or she doesn't want to take that extra mile to really think, because she's going to think that you're judging her, like, how have you never thought about these things. But if you create the safe space, like, no, it's okay. It's okay that you don't know. Most people probably don't think about these certain things. I wouldn't expect you to be thinking about these things. Uh, I just want to see if you could come up with your own conclusion, or like why you think that might be, especially if it has to do with women. She's a woman. Be like, hey, we don't do I don't knows over here. Take your time. There's no rush. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to rush your answers. Take your time. And she'll be like, thinking, like, yeah, take your time. There's no rush. And you can probably sip on your drink. You can also contemplate on the idea, or this is just another tip that I've used that has increased my perceived respect and admiration. And it allows the woman to be more comfortable, and you come off way more thoughtful. You're a guy that actually cares what she thinks, what is actually in here and not in, rather, and in here, what's in here and in here, rather than just what's on her chest and on her back, what her exterior is looking like. This separates you apart. But yes, so ask open-ended questions, just to wrap this up. Yes or no questions, and other questions similar in nature, like, what's your favorite color? She's going to say green. Questions like that are only valid if you have a destination of where the conversation can go in mind. So, like, let's say, for example, hey, so what's your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. You go, oh, rather than saying, oh, okay, cool, mine's red. Yes, that's going to lead to an awkward silence. It's going to first force her to carry the conversation. No, don't do that. If you're going to do that, okay. Oh, your favorite color is blue. See, I've been looking into something that has to do with spirituality or something like that. I've been looking into, I don't know, right? But let's say, oh, I was looking into the psychology, and psychologist professionals, they say that what your favorite color is, or whatever color you find yourself gravitating to the most, says a lot about a person. And if you are well versed in colors and what people gravitate towards, or the psychology of what someone's favorite color is, you know how different colors have different meanings. Red can mean or symbolize anger. Blue could be cold, calm. I'm just making this up on the fly, but if you actually had an idea of where the conversation could go in mind, if you were the guy who was heavily into that psychological side of colors, what people naturally attract to, these different things like that, that could lead to a certain conversation. Oh, your favorite color is blue. Did you know that that means typically you're the kind of person who is a homebody? I'm making this I'm making this up, but is a homebody. They say you're very selfless. Whatever you have done research on, don't make shit up. Then you're gonna get into the nervous bag. No, actually be well versed in these certain things. But that's just an example of where you would ask a question that's a yes or no question, or a question that could really only has one answer or one word answer. That's an example of you asking one of those questions and you being able to lead it to somewhere that is in more like it's more in depth, that could actually have a genuine, insightful conversation. And she'd be, oh, yeah, I am very much of a selfless person, but I don't agree with the one that you said that people who like blue are like this. Yeah, I'm not really like that. I'm more of this type of person. And you go, okay. And then you can get into your natural rhythm and flow and conversation. This is how women fall in love, bro. This is how women fall in love. If you've mastered the three pillars, you know, if you already mastered the rest, then you don't need it. But if you've mastered the inner work, the outer work, and the overall female psyche and psychology of game, you have those things mastered, which you will learn and master if you sign up for the Mesmerizing Men Masterclass. Um, if you do that, this is how women fall in love. This is how women become mesmerized by a man. This is because you have substance. Shout out to the creator Taekwondo on YouTube. He's a YouTuber. Go deep, not wide. That is the rule of thumb. Go deep, not wide. You will never run out of things to say with a woman if you decide to go deep and not wide. Rather than going, oh, what's your favorite color? Oh, what's your favorite food? Oh, where'd you grow up? Oh, you're going wide, but you're not going deep at all. You're going to run out of things to talk about. You're going to run out of ideas. But if you stick on one topic and go deep, you could be talking about one specific topic for literally hours, bro, on day one. And then you both leave like, once you guys leave that date or that interaction, she's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, we had such an amazing talk, but I still don't know anything about him." You still have that mysteriousness to you. You're still a mystery. She doesn't know a lot about you because you guys just had such an amazing, in-depth, deep conversation about one topic that had nothing to do with even. It could have been either you or her, or it doesn't really matter. But that's the rule of thumb. Go deep, not wide. So that pretty much wraps up chapter 4. Ask in-depth questions that are open-ended. If you're going to ask a yes or no question, or another question that is similar in nature, ask them with the intention of having a destination in mind of where the conversation can go. That is going to lead to something more insightful, rather than just leaving it blank. Possibility of awkward silence. Now you're thinking, oh, what do I ask her next? Take your time. Become a more intellectual individual in general, as a whole. Do research. But that pretty much wraps up chapter 4. I'll see you guys in chapter 5.